.1150 KKNW E's way I see it no other way. Y'all know the motto. If it's out there, let's talk about it. I'm your host, E-Dawg, alongside my lovely co-host,
Tari,
and my boy.
Sweeng One just couldn't get weight.
And we can't forget DJ Hustleman in the building, man.
Yeah, you know I'm here, man.
Lovely co-host.
Sweeng One in the building, my fault.
I mean, why you always trying to take the lovely co-host part?
I feel like I'm lovely right now.
I'm like,
I'm
man,
feeling
this
real
guy's
lovely.
crazy, man. Anyway, we got some good music today for y'all. We got a guest calling in at 6:30, The Rhyme Hustla. If y'all know him, he's a battle rapper. He's an actor. I mean, this guy wears many hats. He got a blockbuster movie coming out. So
we got a blockbuster movie coming out.
I know you're in it. See, Sweeng want to take Terry's part. Then he want to jump and take over on. We're going to talk about Sweeng One's tomorrow concert, comedian concert coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a bunch of things. Right now, we're going to go into some music. This is Mike Check Presents The Conductor, Volume 1. Thanks for My Child, featuring Shade Bug. Music produced by Tone Jones.
Yeah.
Whenever I look in her eyes, all I see is you. Her mannerism is all you. Yeah, your little replica. Okay, the nose is mine, and maybe them ears too. My little girl, so beautiful, she got the best of you. From the spitting up to the late night getting up, you was always soft as butter. Being the perfect mother, / the perfect wife, and adding purpose to my life. And I ain't told you this in a while before my child, baby, I thank you.
Thanks for my child. Baby. Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks for my child. Thanks for everything. I really want to thank you. Thank you.
Whenever I look at his face, all I see is yours. My little man I would die for. And yeah, he's a mama's boy. Okay, the hair is mine. Maybe them lips too. It's a trip how he be staring at you. And that's my pride and joy. My little mini me, a younger version, extension of me. I can't even pretend to be not happy that he's kin to me. He's a blessing, mama. You deserve to smile. I ain't told you this in a while before my child, baby, I thank you.
Thanks for my child. Thank you, baby. Oh, thank you. You give me meaning to love. Oh, thanks for my child. Beautiful you, perfect you. I really want to thank you. Thank you.
I've been totally obsessed since she took her first breath. Laid her head on my chest. Thank you for my princess. I'm so blessed. I watched as she took her first steps. I crept in her room to watch her breathe when she slept. Love her to death. She got the best parts of myself. I dropped her off at school. She waved goodbye when she left. She kissed my cheek and say, out of the daddies I'm best. And I ain't told you this in a while before my child. I say thank you.
Thanks for my child. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, thanks for my child. God, I love you, baby. Oh, I really want to thank you. Thank you.
Easeway Radio in the building. Y'all know what it is. Mike Check Presents Thanks for My Child. That's a cut right there. We like to play positive music that means something. We ain't always got to chase the bag.
I like that one.
I like that too. It's got a good rhythm to it, man. Yeah. I miss that feel-good music. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things going on right here. I want to get this going right now, because if Terry ain't on the same subject as me, I'm talking about Ahmad. Is that his name?
What's his name?
Ahmad.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
Ahmad Arbery.
I'm surprised, like I told DJ Hustleman.
74 days.
How did we just hear about this?
Well,
how come it wasn't big news before?
Well, it happened 74 days ago.
74 days ago.
74 days ago, it happened.
Them dudes was free for 73.
70.
Wow.
Yes.
They was just walking
That
around.
is-
Sound muffled.
Yeah.
And the only reason that it got any news is because that video was released.
Yeah.
2 videos were released, and then that's what got everybody up in arms. They were like, "What? Where are these 2 dudes?"
So the video,
And that's what it was.
the video that was taken, that guy's going to jail too. He was part of it.
Because he didn't do anything.
No, that's not it.
Well-
They cornered him in. They was chasing him. The
Yeah.
guy that was filming the video was part of it too. It was
So
3
if
of
he
them.
was part of it, why would he release the video?
Somebody put it online. He put it online, and it got sent to the prosecutor through a link.
So at first they were saying they had probable cause to
Yeah.
chase him and shoot him.
Yeah,
Man, that was clear as day.
yeah, that was hard to watch, man.
They talking about he started fighting the guy. Yeah, he started fighting the guy with a gun.
You're
His
supposed
life
to.
was in jeopardy.
Yeah, what
right?
would you do?
I would grab the gun.
Yeah.
I would try to grab the gun. If I run, they could shoot me still.
Right.
My
Right.
whole thing was, I was very, very disappointed with his best friend making a statement that this ain't about race.
Wow.
And when he
You
said
could-
that, I was like blown away.
Wow.
But you do understand that there is now something circulating through, I don't know if it's on Facebook or what, but there, and it's got, I don't know how many, but this morning there was like over 7,000 people had already signed it, a petition, almost like a GoFundMe account for them.
Oh yeah, I seen that too.
Did you see that?
It's like it was at 18,000 when I
Okay.
looked. There was 18,000 people. But this is the thing. They've been accepting all different races on the page, and a lot of people's going there to actually attack. So because they got 18,000 don't mean that's all supporters, because they
Right.
made the page private. So they have other people actually going there for the attack, and they also created a page with the same signature so that people can come in that page, and then it's really a page against them. So like
Oh.
it's been like a real Facebook game too when it come to this. Like I'm just tripping off the fact that people are supporting even if they see it with their eyes.
Yeah.
Like it's like if you watch the boy hanging in the tree and you see 2 people doing it, and then you say I'm in support of them. They
Yeah.
should have hung him in the tree.
But again, you're in Georgia, correct?
Yeah,
This
and they
is
don't
in
have a law.
Georgia.
They don't have a law.
Right. And we all know that Georgia is still they still flying that Confederate flag and all of that. So
not
it is a race issue.
I'm not surprised
because,
about none of it.
because they were saying, "Oh, we thought we thought that he had just committed a crime and that's why he was running." But he actually lived a block over. He was doing
lived a block
normal-
over?
Yeah. A block over.
Well, actually,
And the
they
next-
said the house, there was some burglaries in the neighborhood, but it had happened like a month ago, and it was one burglary. And come to find out that the older guy, what's his name? I ain't even gonna say his
I don't
name.
even
The
know.
dad,
No,
Michael.
the Gregory or somebody.
Yeah.
The dad, right? The dad used to work for the DA. He was an investigator or something.
He was an ex-cop.
But he know the black guy from probation violations, and he said that I
Really?
know him. Yeah. So man, it's
So I mean, yeah, I want to hear because they're gonna do it.
oh yeah,
They're gonna tell us if he has a record.
yeah.
They're gonna assassinate his character.
Regardless.
He
Yeah.
was jogging though.
Regardless, that is so irrelevant to me. You
Mm-hmm.
could, maybe he had a record 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 2 years ago. Does that justify that? Not at all.
Wow. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
even as a guy that had a situation, where I used to run the neighborhood back in the days.
Yeah.
What's crazy is regardless if my life changed, regardless if everything's legit now, I don't like cops getting behind me.
No,
I don't
either.
feel good.
No.
I always feel like, I came out of a grocery store a couple years ago by my house, and it was like I would park up top and take the stairs down because the parking lot was full or whatever. I would just do that. That's just what I would do. I came out to 4 police cars around my car, and he was like, I said, "Is there a problem?" He said, "Is this your car?" And the light's on. I said, "Yeah, it's my car." He's like, "Why would you park up here and not down there?" I said, "Now you trying to tell me what's comfortable for me to where it's comfortable for me to park at? I said, I park up here all the time during the daytime. He's like, but there's no cars up here, usually at nighttime. So we think that, somebody has stole a car. I said, do that car look stolen to you? He's like, no. And I said, okay, so why are you behind it? It's legally parked. There is no parking signs, right? So what are you checking on? You know what I mean? So then I said, are we done? He was like, yeah, I was just wondering why I said, all right. I get in the car, I leave. You could tell they wanted something. They were running the license plate. They wanted something, right? And I was just like, it's not fair sometimes, especially as minorities, that you have these computers in the car that you can know who I am before actually contact. You see my picture. You see everything.
Yeah. They
right?
make a file on you, man. Every time they stop
and it's not fair because, sometimes, revenge is real. He might have got bullied in school.
So my question is, what we gonna do about all this?
Listen, man, I'm not going. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen about.
What we gonna keep?
I'm gonna live as a abiding citizen, raising these kids.
Understandable that, but
Is there a strategy to not getting profiled or by your neighbor or the cops? Is there like I hate when I hear people say, just put your hands on the dash when they pull you over. It's
but
like, is that
show
just
motif.
for us?
But here's the thing. Is that especially here in Puget Sound, in the greater Seattle area, it is minorities are the minorities, correct? And in law enforcement, you don't have a lot of minorities because it is in minorities culture, especially African American culture. It is not looked upon as a position of power or doing any good. It is looked as a position of being a snitch.
But look at this.
Let me finish. So really the thing is that as African Americans or as minorities, how do you change that to make it so that, look, what I'm trying to do is help our community, because that's what they're trying to do. Because you're tired of seeing all the killings, black on black killing, which actually statistically is higher. So how do you then you sit here and talk about, everybody's profiling? Well, when you are living in an area that is predominantly white, and obviously minorities are minority, but as a minority, when you try and make a difference and going into law enforcement, you're looked at as a snitch, so it's negative. So that is, again, minorities' problem.
At this point, see, it's nothing really we could do, but like if we just jog and mind our own business and we're getting profiled, what can we do about that?
That's real.
Well, look, man, you got the right to protect yourself,
Sure.
regardless if it's a police beating you up, really. That's the law.
So if you don't have felonies, maybe you should look into.
That's the problem. We got to stop worrying about.
Maybe you should look into gun permits.
Yeah, that also, but we got to stop worrying about the felonies. It's got a lot of stuff going on. They're not worried about all that, man. So we even in New York,
that's the only way you can protect yourself. Because if you,
you can't shoot a cop.
What if you don't know he's a cop?
We're not
talking about that. So look, this is what I was about to get into.
What if they're making a citizen's arrest?
Okay,
and he's just jogging.
Okay, well, this is
how
what I
we
was about to say.
protect ourselves then.
You see the one in New York where they forcing the social distance in New York and they beating up all the people,
threw the person on the head.
It's been a whole bunch of them. They just beating them up. So it's just it's getting out of hand. It's just a way for them to touch us.
Just white cops either.
More.
The video I seen was
it's been black cops doing it too.
Yeah.
They the worst.
Well, that's Hispanic stuff like that.
Yeah.
Over there.
Again, it's the same thing. Is that until, especially like here in the Puget Sound area, how can we as a community work with law enforcement? And you have a black chief of police right now who's been there for years. She's 30 years in.
And she's serious about it.
And she really is a community minded person. And actually she was not their first choice. And the community rallied behind her and said, what in the heck are you guys talking about? She's very well known in the community and she's a perfect representation and she's got a lot of respect from not only the officers, but also the community itself. And so she's making waves, and she's really trying to make a difference. She's slowly changing the vibe and what's going on. But what's happening is, here's the negative part of that.
Mm-hmm.
You have the good old boys club in the black and blue,
mm-hmm.
that regardless of her race, it's the fact that she's a female.
Mm-hmm.
So you're dealing with gender as well as race.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of old school law enforcement in SPD
Mm-hmm.
who are going to buck up against her because of those two things.
But
right?
those two Georgia guys, they wasn't cops.
I'm gonna say this: let's not get Jesse.
Yeah.
Let's get Kun Love.
Let's get Kun
Right.
Love.
Let's get Kun Love.
But let's, as a community as a whole, you
Let's get
have
'em,
to
family.
you have to communicate with both sides. You have to be able to say, okay, get to know the law enforcement. Law enforcement needs to get to know their community, regardless whether you're white, brown, orange, or
Hey,
green.
when I was coming up, we knew our officers coming through Rainier
Right.
Avenue South.
I
They
did
gave
too.
us baseball cards, basketball cards. They gave us all kinds. Sweeng forgets we're on air sometime.
I didn't know
Like,
it was that big.
This guy is crazy. Like they used to really talk to the kids and give them things, pass out brochures, and it was cool. But yeah, you're right. It came to the point where it was like snitching if you're caught talking to a police officer, you
Right.
suspect, and so forth. Anyway, we're gonna get into some news right now. It's only news right here on 1150 KKNW Ease Way.
Was gunned down back in February by some man and his own son who thought that Amar was a criminal. Instead of calling police, what they did was unthinkable. They ran up on him with a gun cock, not one shot but two shots after following for a few blocks. It was all filmed by a person who had a camera, but no one was still arrested. It's bigger than just Atlanta. People are speaking up and his family is speaking out. The GBI is at work on the case, but it's leaving doubt in the minds of the public, who said if it was reversed and a black man had put a white kid in a hearse, then the trial would have been set. But the viral video death of Ahmaud is sweeping the rest of the country, and protesters are gathering. Unrest is what's happening. Some guess that if nothing is done now, injustice is what's found, and no one is somehow accountable for the crime, then what's the point of the video evidence online? I'm sorry for disturbing the peace that Ahmaud's resting in, but we're not resting. You think it's over, then guess again.
We got off.
The Mechanics.
Come in, I swear you can get it right. Got a sweet overlook in the city lights. See my table, have a seat for the best time. Flipping way before Urk or Stefan. I can make you the queen of the function. Do it all night, drop you off at your pumpkin. Better make your mind up, this the last call. Till I dip in the rocket ship and blast
My
off.
love, come here, first floor, deck three. Our room is our room, you take me. I just want $100, so pull your poop down, and I'm gonna do the knowledge. What I say, come here, hands on your rear, undo Brazil. My love, when you wear my Raider hat, ask for the you know what I'm gonna say to that. Come here.
Short. I got his ex-girlfriend. Swirling on my wallet like a whirlwind. Deep, whirling. Sexy like a named Merlin. You don't wanna leave her alone. Every time I see her out, I'm bringing her home. If we in the same car, she'll give me chain a hoe. But I get my pimpin' on. I put the work, make her so till it hurts. I'ma keep one hand in your purse. Cause girl, you gotta quench my pimpin' thirst.
Come here.
Hold up, slow down, baby. I'm trying to holler on that EPMD tip. She asked me if I ever go. Hell yeah, and that ain't no secret.
Shower time, love to put soap on you. Whatever I put look dope on you. Dry you off, now you wet again. We jump in bed again, you getting fed again, yeah.
What's up, love? How you doing? By the way, we could be school. Stick you every which way like a voodoo doll. If you want it raw, you know who to call.
Hey yo, we just leave the room to take a breather real quick. Throw on some clothes and pose for a pic. Go for a stroll while our juices replenish. And in a couple of minutes, we in bed, right back to business. Come here, 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 come here. Come here, come here, baby, come here, 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 come here. Come on, holla at me, baby, come here.
1150 KKNW E's Way. I see it no other way. Y'all know what it is, man. Money B, Young Hump, Digital Underground in the building. Yeah. Featuring Too Short. I like that joint. Anyway, man.
I do too.
The information we need to get right now is very important because this is a member of our crew. Last week, my man Sweeng One's apartment complex burnt up. He lost everything. Everybody's coming together to make something happen for him, man. You know, this is not the time to be homeless. This is not the time to be going through this. Yeah, but out of his power, it happened. We're happy he made it out alive. If he didn't hear any noise, he might not be sitting here with us today. So with that said, we have a special event that's going on tomorrow on Facebook Live. Is it just Facebook Live or is there other places?
No, it's Facebook Live.
Facebook
it's on,
Live.
Urban Solutions Radio.
Urban Solutions Radio. So what is it? So
real quick, I want to give a shout out to like everybody that the community came through as a whole and like pulled together and helped your boy out, man. I was shocked. I'm in awe. Like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Nikita. Plugged me with about 3 fits. That's my girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's Zoom Stand-Up TV featuring Rodney Perry. We got, the lineup is cold, man. We got Chocolate Shy. We got Chris Sabata hosting. We got Toby Hicks out of L.A. We got my boy Tony Daniels. We got Honest John.
Yeah, Honest John is
from The Wash.
Comedian.
Yeah. We got my guy Nate Jackson blessing us. You feel me? And we got my dude Rodney Perry, originally from Chicago.
So how do they get on?
They go to Urban Solution Radio on Facebook Live. You'll see it. It's
Urban Soul. Soul.
SOUL Lucian.
That's what's up. And please, man, be supportive.
And shout out to Urban Solution for putting it together, man. I appreciate you, Hodge.
Hey, man, everybody's coming together. This is what we need to do. This should be like what we need to do without having any negative things behind it or tragedies behind it. We need to get together and do this for each other, period. So, you know, be supportive, man. Check out that live stream for Sweeng One. You can donate, help him out, man. Help a brother back on his feet so, you know, he can let this pass. You're never going to forget it because you lost things in it that were important. Back to the story at hand, T, the situation with this boy.
That boy. The boy.
The boy. So the dudes got charged.
Yeah.
They're charged. Okay.
So they're officially charged yesterday, right?
Officially charged. But they said they can't charge him with a hate crime because that city, through that, they tried to pass a bill for hate crimes in that city and a lot more cities. And when it reached a certain house, it got thrown out. So they're not going to be charged with any of that. So the hate crime is not going to work. They're going to be charged for the murder. And, you know, I think that people are different than back in the days, right? And when I say that is we are getting a little better with all white people can't be assassinated in this situation. You can't do that.
Right.
Like literally. Right. It's the individuals are responsible for their actions. And we can't just turn around and kumbaya and stomp on white people like, you know, like they're responsible for this situation. The two dudes that acted out or whoever else, a third party, they are responsible for this. So we're not gonna sit back and we want better laws. That's what we want. We want better laws because they shouldn't have never went home in the first place. Usually we get locked up and then we're in there for 8 months to a year before they decide we didn't have nothing to do.
Yeah,
they never even got picked
crazy?
up though.
Yeah, they never
was never picked up.
That's my point.
Nothing never happened.
But that's the thing is like, how does a man get murdered? And then was it a cold case? Was it? I mean, that's what I want to know.
We got to
what were the
understand,
police doing?
we living up here in Washington. You go
Yeah.
further down in Georgia,
I know, you south.
Georgia.
You
You
south,
know,
you
you going.
know.
I mean, you know, I'm telling you, those
Yes.
little red flags, those Confederate flags, they real. Everybody, I done seen
Yeah.
Confederate flags. They real. So,
But
when
down
they carry,
south, respect the down south, they let you know off the jump they don't mess with your kind. Here, you have to figure it out later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, this is the North where you come to be free.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I don't
you
know
see
about
what I'm saying?
that.
When you back, when you go back,
free.
when you go back home, when you go
I
back
feel
down,
you.
you going back to the back. You know what I'm
Chitty,
saying?
bang, bang.
Yeah, to the chitty chitty
Call
bang
now.
bang
I mean, well, don't call now, but call us later and tell us what your views is, man. 425-373-5527 and holler at us, man. Tell us what you think about the whole situation.
I want to know what y'all want to do about it.
We waiting on the Rhyme Hustler to call so we
I
can
think
talk
it's
about
whack,
this.
man. Like
What you want to do about it? What you think we should do about it?
we
I
should
think
change
we
laws.
should.
We should get behind cats like Khan, or you know what I'm saying. We should change laws. We should
I
vote.
mean, what I'm saying is this, right? What I'm saying is this: laws, marching, preaching, kumbayaing, talking about it, sharing it. That ain't gonna do nothing.
Can you explain Kumbaya?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Listen, we've been kumbayaing and marching and praying and all
And
this
Black
for a
Lives
long time,
Mattering
man.
for a
That's
while.
not gonna do nothing.
So what you want
Right.
to do?
I'm not gonna say what I want to, what I would
Okay.
think, but I'm just saying. I just think whatever got to be done, some stuff got to start happening because if a bully keeps bullying you, what you do with a bully?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna just can't let him keep pushing you over, and then he start pushing your family members over and everybody else. When you start knocking somebody back,
No, I'm going to call the police.
yeah, we can't even do that.
Eventually, you're gonna have to square up.
We got to
But
square
you're
up.
right.
I'm going to
You're
call
right.
the
There-
police
laws
because the
have to
law
change.
says.
Yeah,
Laws have to change.
laws take too long. It's not
But-
gonna work. We got to start
But you
squaring
can't
up.
do your own
No.
self. You can't
You
do your own
cannot- you cannot-
self-justice.
listen, you
can't do
cannot
that.
I'm not talking about
You cannot-
personally like fighting everything, but I'm talking about in a general sense.
Okay, look, this
You know
is
what I'm
this
saying?
is the truth.
You still can't do your self-justice.
You
like
Yeah.
can if you
Yes, you
jogging
can.
down the street, just minding your business, and two cats jump out on you.
No.
Then you can do your justice.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
That's
more
what I'm
bigger,
talking about.
like all of
Like
us.
what?
Like first of all, our
Like
black
protecting
dollar.
yourself.
First of all, our black dollar is stronger than anything.
Absolutely.
We
See,
gotta
keep-
stop. We gotta
keep-
stop. Hold on.
We
We're
keep
promoting. We're
buying.
promoting. We're doing the same thing that we
What?
don't like done to us. Now, if they got on this show right now and said our white dollar,
No, we
then-
can't. No, it
listen
is
to
a
what
black
I'm
dollar.
saying.
It is a
Listen to
black
what
dollar.
I'm saying. But we're not promoting. We're promoting. We're not about to get up here and promote for blackness or whiteness. We need to be neutral. We need to talk about a solution without telling people you need to get involved with this and you need to get involved
But
with
see,
that.
that might be the
Because
issue.
sometimes we can be racist too.
That no,
I see
no,
it all the time.
no.
True. That's
see,
100%. You can't. That's 100%.
but if it's not coming from a racial connotation, it's not racist. So what I'm saying is, I can't keep sitting here and watching all these videos of my people getting knocked down and all this, and then what if it happened to you next week? We just gonna keep kumbaya? I'm just saying I don't know what it is we should do, but our money that we put in everything.
This ain't the only. Listen, think about this. How about this? Let's put it on a bigger scale.
Okay, go ahead.
Nobody speaks up when we go over to another country and just slaughter everybody.
Who is
right?
we?
No, I'm saying
United States.
Because I ain't going. When I say we, I'm talking about us in this room.
I'm talking about period. We need to have this. We need to have this discussion more often, whether it be for an individual or for the situations that we going against in the world. Like, why are we over there taking out babies and different peoples like that? Nobody say nothing because it's not happening over here. It doesn't concern us. We shouldn't be bothered. So it's like this is the world, man. You're gonna live. You're gonna die. But it shouldn't be the way that man died.
Yeah.
Right? And it shouldn't be the way that other people die in this world.
Yeah.
Speak up for all, not just individuals. What about the homie that killed the homie in the hood? We don't speak up about that.
Oh, we speak here in jail.
No. We don't speak about it. We take sides.
Nah.
We
I'm
take
against
sides
anybody
and
who
then we
getting killed.
continue to war. Right?
I feel like this, man. Look, crime is crime. Everybody gonna commit crime. Somebody gonna murder somebody. Somebody gonna stab somebody. It don't matter if it's crime with
Why'd
his
you
color.
have to throw the stab in there? We know what that means.
Wait.
Yeah. But look, if the murder or the crime has to do something with your skin, then you can't be afraid of hearing it's gonna sound racist because it is already been a separate.
No, I'm
you
not
know
saying.
what?
I'm
You
not.
know what?
Go ahead.
What I think he's trying to say is, like,
Come on.
black
Pull it.
people, right? We're like the number one consumers of stuff that we probably shouldn't spend money on.
True.
TVs, rims, Jordans. We spent all this money. But if we saved our money and put it together, and we could probably create our own government.
Boom.
Take your money But here's the thing. No. Here's the thing. And I hear what you're saying, but I also hear what he's saying. The thing is, it's not what's interesting about minorities, especially in the African American community, different than, say, Filipinos, Asians, East Indians, things like that, those cultures. If you've ever, the one thing about African American society culture is when you talk about putting your money together, but as a group, but that doesn't happen because you don't even support your own businesses. Whereas in Asian communities and in East Indian communities and other minority communities, you will see them actually put together their money from different families to grow it. Like into a store, they'll buy into a store, and then everybody, because they know everybody's going to eat.
I beg.
And you can go ahead.
Yeah. I don't.
You know what I'm saying? But in the African American community, it is well known that that the African American communities do not always support each other. You'd rather go support, the Polo or Gucci or something like that, because that has status. But that's owned by not a minority.
So you saying if I make a brand called Bolo, the knockoff of Polo, y'all gonna buy it?
No, I'm gonna say you.
But that's what I'm saying is why
you gonna buy the Bolo
if it's you. Yeah, because I want to support you.
But that's what I'm saying is why.
I bought East barbecue sauce.
I mean, if you're talking about the almighty dollar and African American dollar is.
T, we're gonna take this call.
Who we got?
I think we got
Okay.
Yo.
What up, Un?
3 times I'm in here, man. What's going down?
So the reason I wanted you on the show today is because when we first started, Un reached out to me and I was like, I don't even know the direction, how it's going to sound, what we're going to do. So I wanted to wait. But I am interested in the blockbuster movie that you guys got coming out. I want to hear a little story about how this happened. I believe that you put this together or you pitched it to somebody that you worked with previously. What I do like about it is you my bad. You involve the cast members.
Yeah.
Right? You brought Sweeng in, you brought other local artists
Newton.
and Stewie and a whole bunch of other people. So kind of tell us how this all began and where you at with it now.
So basically this started back, I made a video called on a song called Runaway. And you can go check it out on YouTube on Runaway. It'll pop up. The director of that video was Tim Carpenter. He had a movie company back then. This is 8 years ago. And, he was a small movie company. Him and his wife was involved, and we shot the video. And the video came out really well. We had a, script, choreographed fight scenes, all that. So, it was like the real deal. And so anyways, we did that video. He liked my performance in that music video. About 6 months after the music video, he calls me and says, "Hey, can you meet me for a coffee?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." So I go meet with him, and kind of grins at me and slides me a script across the table for a movie that he had wrote with me as the main character. And I'm like, "Hold up, the main character?" He's like, "Yeah, I think you can do it, man." And, he had confidence in me. So we actually started pre-production on that. We did a trailer and a photo shoot. Me and Pale Soul did a song for the soundtrack. I actually had Pale Soul involved in Billy the Fridge. Billy was my hype man, and Pale played my producer.
So give us a sneak, quick trailer view of what the movie's about.
Essentially, it wasn't like your regular trailer either. This guy's creative, man. It was just me walking with some riot cops behind me, and I was cuffed. But the voiceover and the narration of what the movie was about with me just walking in slow motion kind of set the tone for the movie. I can't go into it because he still wants to release it. So that actually, he had me in mind. So he started started leveling up. We had to quit the production on that because it was independent, self-funded, and he's getting commercial work. I get it. So he's getting paid to do the commercial work. And, I'm watching him from afar through social media. He did a couple music videos that were award-winning, did a couple indie films that were award-winning. Then he got blessed with the opportunity to do his first feature film. And he reached out to me and said, "Hey, you want an audition?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I don't even care what it is. I just want to get it in, man. Let's go."
So how is what did Sweeng do, man? Did he lace it? I'm curious.
Sweeng brought swing to the set. You know what I'm saying? A matter of fact, I have a new phrase for every time I see Sweeng. I said, I can't take swing anywhere. Sweeng had an improv one-liner that almost had me do a spit take and like blow a whole scene, man, because Sweeng won.
First of all, I wasn't even supposed to have no spoken words. I was supposed to just be there. What they call it, sophering?
The cameo?
Yeah, I was supposed to just be there looking mean. But I kept saying stuff.
And they actually used it?
Yeah, they used it. They mic'd me up. I was like, what?
Hey, man.
So he bullied his way into the movie.
No, I giggled.
He was an extra that turned into a cast member.
He finessed his way the only way Sweeng can, man.
Extra.
I appreciate you.
So you wear 3X?
Yeah,
3X. Or you just forgot to take it off?
For that role.
Picked it up.
I mean, he was trying to get down to a rehearsal, the first day of rehearsal, where he would meet everybody, and he got T-boned and totaled his car like a block away.
I forgot about that.
You know what I'm saying? And then him and Stewie, at one scene, they're yarding a white girl down a sidewalk without no security. Anybody see that? That could have been over for them. They gave it up for the movie, man.
All right, man. Real quick, man. Thank you for calling. But tell us a little bit about what you got coming up.
Man, the movie's still in production. The COVID's kind of spanned things out a little bit, so we're wrapping up the movie. That should be coming out. Hopefully, we've got studios looking at it, big studios looking at it that may pick it up. Then I got music going on. I'm working on a compilation region-wide, bringing the region together, having artists that have never worked together before, that should have worked together, marrying them together on tracks. And then I got my own project coming out, which is a whole new, you've heard some of the stuff that, hasn't dropped yet, but it's way different than my regular stuff, and people seem to really like it. So I'm just staying super busy, man.
All right, man. I appreciate you calling, man. Get us some music. I heard some things online that wasn't radio edited, but I'm waiting, man. So shoot us some music. All right, man.
Man.
All right. That was On the Rhyme Hustler, man, telling us about this great movie with him and Sweeng One. And
Mr. Bleachers is
who
the
else
name
did
of
he
the
say?
movie.
Mr. Bleachers?
Billy the Fridge, Stewie Newton.
Who else do you know?
They don't have DJ Hustleman.
There's a lot of people, man.
That's messed up.
That's his new
a lot of
AKA.
people.
They don't have DJ.
Anyway, we're going to go to news, and then we're
going
to be right back, man, on the topic.
Yeah, I need to be in the mood.
Yo, you ever see a $20 bill on the ground? Well, imagine when I tell you what this kid just found. A bag of money sitting outside of a Wells Fargo next to an ATM machine looking like where'd the car go? No one around except him and his own conscience. And if it was me at 19, bro, I would have been gone with $135,000 in 50s. But what the young man did next is a bit of history. Turned the money into the cops with the banks closed. Thought about keeping it, maybe this was a prank show. Did what he thought best, this could have been God's test. The city gave him a plaque as a thank you, and on next he was given a gift card, couple of sports tickets, money from local businesses. Couldn't believe he did it. It's good to do good. This kid's teaching a lesson. Jose Nunez about to receive blessings.
There you go. We back.
Yeah.
What do you mean we back? You supposed to be playing
Sweeng
another
One.
song.
No, you said keep going.
No,
East Way Radio. Look, I'm trying to Terry Free.
Hey, man.
DJ.
This guy gonna look at me and say, we back.
Past happening.
Yeah,
See
King
us
Lee.
moving when the highs happening. Trying to throw that at me, but it should have happened in. Wasn't in the wind. I was at the crib trapping in. Now the jets all got Wi-Fi. Flying over Iceland. I get back to the States, I'm raising prices. Dinner with a Pisces and she eating pineapples. A lot of fake in the building, but mine natural. That was her quote. And we left so fast, forgot her fur coat. Experience is worth more. Lift is only 5 miles out, his name is Roberto. About to pray on this as far as church goes. I am not a search of commitment at the time. I'm just having fun with women I do not consider mine. Your truth tell me just as much about you as your lies. Doing what we do, I hope you never be surprised. Invisible lines we were never meant to cross. But if we friends forever, you can never take a loss. You ain't never met a friend like Lee's, mind at ease. I let you breathe, take all the time you need, mama.
Oh, baby, I'm ready to cross the line with you, with you. Cross the line, I'm ready to cross the line, ready to cross the line with you, with you.
Asking him his status like it matters. You just wanted him to feed your self-esteem. You the baddest. You just wanted credit for helping the team get established. Being IG famous, is that a dream or a habit? You ain't gotta answer that, baby. I know you passionate. Wanna pull up to all the places you lamping at. Now you getting pampered by who you let sample that. Made it to New York and you Googling where the Hamptons at. I ain't even too much tripping. Doing something for years. It ain't working, time to do something different. And when it's time to move something, I boost something vicious. She gon' pull up at like 2 something, the crew come get it. She done seen a nigga weather every kind of storm. If these hating, I ain't see it, I was uninformed. Type to come the coldest when it's freezing and you want it warm. Real one if he tell you all his dreams and you want it for him. King Leeds.
1150 KKNW, E's Way, I See It No Other Way. King Leeds featuring Jay who? Jay Parks, right?
Yeah.
The Michael Jackson Korean dude.
King Leeds, I see you.
You can see him?
Yeah, I can see you.
Terry, this dude crazy.
Exclusive.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
anyway, man,
crazy.
so back to the topic at hand. Solutions, right? Everybody talks about the solution, but nobody ever breaks the wall and start the process. And if they do, they fall off. It's all of it. Now I would say there is people out there. There's a gentleman we should get on the show that been through it. I'll tell you that later. And I think that we should bring him on, Gorgeous Dre.
Yeah.
And he's got a bill passed. Yeah. The thing is, man, sometimes you ever be up at like 1, 2 in the morning and surfing through the channel, and then all of a sudden you come up on like late night. We're on air. Late night, you come up on them passing laws.
Yeah, and that's
on
when
TV.
Yeah.
And you can actually go there. It's open to the public to go in and put their opinion in. And I've seen people get their gun rights back that have done time. There's all kinds of things that we can do, but we got to be vocal we can't just be talking about it amongst each other. We actually got to go down to the place, involve ourselves. They have these things listed of what they're trying to pass. Well, if you got 4 of them and nobody of us, they're going to pass it. And you're not going to know about it until you get into the situation.
It'll be too late.
It's very important to follow your political situations out here. Like, who do you even know who these people are? How did they get in the chair? How did they get the chair? Why did they get the chair? Where'd they come from before the chair? That's very important to know. Yeah. Nobody knew who Obama was until he was running for president. A lot of black people are like, what? We got a black man running for president? What? Oh, man, that's my dog.
There's a lot of black people on the front line that people don't talk about. Like Gorgeous Dre, like Harriet Walden Cunningham mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Joaquin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got people out here, like we do support each other, but
we do.
We only glorify the ignorant stuff.
This is why I like I'm going to talk about this because I don't know if T wants to bring this up, but the reason why I like her views is she sees the real side of it. Now, here's the real side of it is she has kids by a officer that actually went out on the front lines, that's still out there on the front lines. So she gets to bring it from a whole different angle in what they talk about. Like, real talk. Like, what do you talk about at night? How scared are you for your husband to come home? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to hear it from when I'm listening to her, I'm going, oh, she knows. And he's probably saying, man, this is crazy. This
the
what
other
happened.
thing too is that it's not just that, it's that he's African American. It's not a white guy. It's an African American who, if you think about it, when officers and when law enforcement officers are minority, there's especially African Americans. There are 2 things that they're going up against. First of all, they're going up against the fact that they have their own community against them because they're in law enforcement, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have when they take off their uniform, they're viewed as black men, so they can go out, wherever, whatever, doing whatever, and let's say, going out for a jog, and he's, same situation, but instead of it being a black man, it's actually a law enforcement officer who was killed, and they didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? But when you take off that uniform, they're just another black man.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But when you put on that uniform, then, oh my gosh, that's the enemy. And that's the Uncle Tom. You're a sellout. You're a snitch.
Because that's just one job that I don't think that, this is just my opinion. That's just one, to each his own. Everybody got a different way of looking at stuff, but that's just not one job that's on my bucket list of jobs that I want to be when I grow up. I want to be a cop. Not saying there's something wrong with it, but just like you said, the stigmatism of me being black, then I got to take it off, and then I might not even be put in my own neighborhood.
Right.
And, all kind of stuff going on. So it take a different person to want to be a police officer. And some people who do want to be police officers probably had a whole bunch of bad stuff happen to them before they got to that point.
I always said that.
Yeah. So
But
it's not just, hold on. I haven't, I'm 46, and I ain't seen not one brother I know walk around telling me I want to be a cop when I get older. Now, see, you hear people say I might want to be a fireman or something.
My son was going to do it. My son was going to do it, and I was proud of him.
Yeah, it was probably a feel good.
I was proud of him, and I wanted him to push and do it. But now he's talking about being a fireman or something like that.
I'd rather be a fireman.
But here's something, man, I want to go into before we lose sight of it. The young lady that was going into the Walmart that didn't have a face mask on, and they told her to get one on or she can't come in, and then an off-duty police officer stepped in and slammed her on her head.
Yeah.
Right? Off-duty police officer.
Yeah.
Okay, she wasn't waving a gun. She wasn't threatening customers to hurt them. She wasn't doing any violence. So why did he jump in? Now, usually I see off-duty police officers come into a situation that gets violent and they're present.
Yeah.
And then they have to take over and protect the people, what they sworn on.
And that was a woman.
And that was black, a woman.
Right?
When
black.
is it? Now, this is what I don't understand. We got domestic violence, right?
Oh,
and domestic violence is if you even spit on them, if you touch them or threaten them. This is a domestic violence case. When did it become off duty to police officers to actually batter women?
Yeah, they don't consider that battered if she's being hostile. See, they take the being hostile as just because somebody's talking back to you and saying something back to you, you can slam them on their face. That's
what if this woman would have had a concealed weapons permit, not knowing that he was a cop, and blew his brains out?
Yeah.
She'd be getting charged for murder.
Yeah, she should.
So you're saying we can't protect ourselves from that? Like, that's somebody's mama.
Yeah.
That's somebody's daughter. You know what I'm saying?
If you off duty, you shouldn't be.
And you slam mine on my head, I'm.
Yeah.
Lord
can I give you guys some insight on this?
Yeah.
So understand that your assumption is that an off-duty officer doesn't get in trouble. That's your assumption.
Whose assumption?
No.
That's a fact.
That's not the fact. That is not the fact. That is not the fact.
Tell us.
That is not the fact.
Well, tell us what happened to the.
No. I want to hear the inside of.
No, I want to hear what happened to the man that slammed the girl on her head for not wearing a face mask.
Nothing.
We don't know yet because they haven't went further in the story yet. It's under investigation.
Investigation.
She got arrested.
Just like understand that law enforcement, they are a union. So just like at Boeing, when you get in trouble at Boeing, you have to, and really for any job, with the exception of, it doesn't have a union, but unions in general protect like crazy, okay? So law enforcement has a union.
Yeah.
They have to go through those procedures.
But we need a black union then.
If the union is corrupt.
But are you saying that the union is corrupt?
I don't know.
Right, you don't. So
know.
don't make those assumptions and don't make those broad statements. I'm just telling you that.
No. Listen, this is the reason why I'm kind of qualified to make those broad statements. Because I'm a 46-year-old black man in America, full black. I done been pulled over by the police. I done had my keys thrown out my car. I done been told to walk. All kind of stuff happened to me.
Wait. Did you just say you got your keys?
Yeah, man.
Man, that's violent. I've been.
Oh, hold up. I'm stuck.
Man.
He take the keys out the ignition and throw them in the woods.
So the problem DJ Hustleman got right now is that Terry.
Beef.
That he got beef with the police department because they left him stranded.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Here's the thing. One thing you don't know, though, Hustleman, is that my kid's dad is from Louisiana.
Yeah.
He's from the South. And he did not come from a hard life. He's never, he is straight and narrow. So understand that he comes from your part of the country. miles
part of
from
the
where
country,
you
boy.
What that mean?
I mean, but you're talking about the South, so he understands.
No, we talk about when a person put on a uniform. That's not the same person. Period.
Facts.
That's not the same person. So I don't care if
Just
he
like-
say if he would grew up next to me, he
No,
would bust
I
me.
understand that. I understand
He got
that.
certain guidelines he got to follow.
Because when they put on that uniform,
Yeah.
they've sworn to protect and serve, regardless.
I done sworn into a lot of things.
Yeah, protect
So-
and serve who? I get you though. We good. I get you.
But that's what I'm saying is that I think what's difficult is that in general, the assumption is that law enforcement enjoy killing people, enjoy slamming people, and that's all their day. That's cool. Let's pull over somebody and let me try and find somebody that I can mess up.
Well, they need to do a ride along.
Do a ride along.
Show me that.
Really
Hold on.
Really
now
should.
I want to
You
get
really
involved.
should.
I want to get involved. I'm gonna tell you this, and this might be a side that Terry didn't see.
Go ahead.
This happens in the neighborhood, and I was part of it. Okay, these guys do actually play games with us.
Mm-hmm.
They actually got us where, what do they call that when the military go to war and they come back and they get checks for being
PTSD.
We have that as
PTSD.
and I'm not trying to say that we was always acting up. That ain't the truth. We can be in a pack of dudes hanging out by the school, and a police officer would literally come up and devour our rights, get on the ground, face down. There hasn't been a crime committed. He just wants to know what we doing.
Yeah.
Go in our pockets, which is illegal. Go in our wallet. You can't even open a wallet without a search warrant. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
That's true.
And disrespect us and get us scared as we grow. We get scared of them. That's why we don't have a relationship with them, and we put them all in the same category because most of them is continuing. Then that cop will see you the same day going, I went from the CD to the South, and now I got to deal with him again because he's seen me again, and he wants to know what I'm doing over here, asking me questions like I've committed a crime. I can't even be in my own neighborhood without being told you can't sit outside of this residence, or you can't. Let me tell you something. I was on the news in '89 with Mayor Rice, and they shut the park down. We played basketball at John Muir School, and the school was summertime. We would go play basketball. Well, his beef was they gonna close the park because they keep picking up 40-ounce bottles and things like that. Now, these are gang members playing basketball. So if they're playing basketball, they're not out committing crimes. So you rather pick, I told him, I said, so you rather pick up our bodies than our 40-ounce bottles? Yeah. Because you're making it sound like we're doing something crazy, but we're actually trying to come together and have fun. And it's almost like you guys want to close down the parks from us. You want to take things like that away from us. So all we have to do is just sit back and think about violence or protect ourselves because people's coming to put violence upon us.
Yeah, they put fear in you, man. That's why I want.
It does happen, Terry. We do have.
No, I'm not saying that it doesn't, because it's happened to me, and that's again, the thing is that I've actually had officers lay their hands on my 3 and 4 year olds and tell me to move off the street.
Wait,
and push
Terry,
me back.
you can't use that. That's their daddy.
But here's the kicker is that we were up. It happened at Torchlight. It happened at Torchlight Parade, and I was with my kids, and they were getting ready to watch their dad ride the motorcycle and all this stuff. And there was a group of us, and no kidding, a white officer. We were on this little park, and I knew we had to move back, so I was like, "Hey, guy, trying to talk to him." This white officer came up and laid hands in my one of a close friend. He's like, one of my sons. He's like, "Yo, man, we're moving back. Don't touch my niece and nephew." And the officer bucked up on him, was like, "Excuse me," and then I walked over and I said, "Hold up. Well, who do you think you're talking to?" And he said, "Ma'am, this is none of your business. You need to step off." And I said, "Oh, but it is my business." I said, "No, but it is my business." And he's like, "Ma'am, you," and he started calling over another officer. I said, "Oh, don't get it twisted. You're not going to like who you're messing with. And see, at that time, I wore a little gold chain that had a SPD badge on it. I said, and the crazy thing is, there was black officers down the road that I knew who was a training officer. Yeah. And I said, and so I finally made calls.
Yeah,
I made calls while I was standing there.
I like,
and mind you, this was in front of other officers' families.
Yeah, so I like the fact that we can all sit back and talk about this, and from different angles of it. That was the whole point. Like, this is the thing. We got to get back into this song real quick, and then we're gonna end the show. Y'all tune in every Friday from 6 to 7 on 1150 KKNW. Yeah. If you're local, you can get us on the radio at 11. What is it? What is it?
11:50 a.m.
11:50 a.m. Yeah. Okay, my mind is going because I'm into this subject. But I want to thank y'all for joining us, man. Thank The Rhyme Hustla for tuning in. We're gonna go out with the J1, right? J Uno right now. 11:50 KKNW East where I see it all the way. See y'all Friday.
We
Show me what you do.